What's up, gamers? DreamcastGuy here, and today we're talking about PlayStation because they have finally selected a new CEO. Obviously, last year in October, the previous CEO, Jim Ryan, who's pretty dang hated, decided to step down from the seat of head of PlayStation, and there's been a lot of debate as to who could take his place, and realistically, who could do a better job than he did. But let's take a look at what Sony said and how I feel like this is probably going to end up, hopefully, making PlayStation a better place to game. Hi, I hope you're having a great day. If you could, give this video a like and subscribe if you haven't already. So what they have decided to do is something that's quite unique. Instead of choosing a singular CEO of PlayStation, which has always been the case previously, there's going to be a double CEO, which is Hideaki Nishino and Hermen Hulst. Now, this dude, I think we all know pretty well, and we're going to go into his history, but essentially, they're going to make two separate groups. Hermen Hulst is part of a studio business group which is directly going to control all the PlayStation games. So this means, like, basically whenever we get a Days Gone or a Horizon or a Killzone or whatever, those games, of course, are still going to exist, but now he can directly oversee when stuff gets turned into TV shows, like The Last of Us, and there's been talks, I think, of a God of War TV show and stuff like that, Twisted Metal. And Nishino, he's going to be in charge of console and hardware technology. So it seems like they're going to really split up the work. Immediately, a lot of very business savvy people, because this news just came out 8 minutes ago, they're saying that this is a smart way to handle it in this ever-evolving industry. It does seem like if you actually just even loosely follow gaming news, there has been a ton of layoffs, consolidation, buyouts, and really, it does seem like the gaming industry is trying to figure out how to make the best games with the highest sales with the least amount of money spent. I think having a double lead with this is probably a good move, but I want to take a look at it because they officially exclusively gave this interview to gamesindustry.biz where they said, hey, we're going to be doing this, but I wanted to take a look at their statement because honestly, Hermen Hulst being picked for the position is, in my opinion, not only is it smart, but I think it's a rather brilliant move because he is a person that has developed games. He understands how to make good stuff. He is the co-founder of Horizon. He is the Killzone developer, the Horizon and Killzone developer over at Guerrilla Games. Guerrilla freaking rocks, and they have been rocking for decades, and they got bought 19 years ago. They joined the Sony family. So the fact that he has gone from head of making good PlayStation games to the literal head of PlayStation, to me is a pretty cool journey that I hope will pay off in better games. But let me take a look at his statement, and let me try and talk about some of the pitfalls I think people really want him to avoid, because the Jim Ryan hate was at times very well founded. I'm thrilled to be leading the studio business group and continue to build on our success with the PlayStation 5 while preparing for the future, said Hulst. The video game industry is one of the largest entertainment industries in the world and has been built on the marriage of content and technology, and I look forward to continuing to push boundaries of play and entertainment. So, let's be honest, this is a pretty standard PR, stereotypical, I'm excited to have my job and it's $20 million a year paycheck. But this part I think is almost more fascinating on paper is Hideaki Nishino. I'm terrible with Japanese names. I do apologize for saying this name. Full respect to him. I'm just an idiot. But he said the fact that he's going to be leading the console hardware, technology, accessories, PlayStation Network, and third-party relations, so essentially marketing deals, trying to get exclusive games like Final Fantasy only coming to PlayStation, he's going to basically organize those deals. This almost implies to me that they're probably already working on the PlayStation 6. There's been a lot of talks about the PlayStation 6, and it sounds like dividing up the work of one guy who's managing people making PlayStation 6 games, for down the road. I mean, we don't even have the PlayStation 5 Pro yet. And then this guy working on the actual hardware. I do think this is going to make it so the games can shine better. But here's a Nishino statement. We will continue to connect players and creators through our world-class products, services, and technology. We always strive to grow our community even bigger with innovation in every area at Sony Interactive Entertainment. I am honored to be appointed to such an important role alongside Hermen. By working more closely together, we will be positioned to build an incredible experience for an ever-expanding audience now and into the future. So it seems like the whole purpose of this is to try and make it so that they can really do the most with the least amount possible. This to me is great. This is part of Sony's approach to promote from within. Look, I'm not going to be like a total hippie about it, but I think PlayStation has been doing very good. I'm glad that they're promoting somebody who has already proved themselves instead of choosing some random CEO from like a cell phone company. I'm glad a game developer is now in charge of game development. That is very cool. But I think the part of this that strikes me the most is the fact that this is great. It's cool that we're going to be getting this, but there definitely needs to be a bit of a pivot. The previous CEO, Jim Ryan, people literally celebrated when he stepped down, and it was in large part because he played things way too safe. I'm not going to hate on the guy. Obviously, the PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5 have been incredibly successful as brands, and when you look at like raw console sales numbers, but look at the amount of games we're getting. Like compare video games in the PlayStation 2 or PlayStation 3 era. You were getting a big exclusive title pretty much every single month. And I'm not saying that games now take too long to make, but it does feel like the cadence of exclusives, the cadence of big games has slowed down. And the idea of new stuff, completely reinventing concepts, trying new stuff, it's becoming increasingly rare. There's talks about them doing a Horizon Zero Dawn remake. Obviously, we got The Last of Us Remastered, then The Last of Us Part 1 remake remastered. I'm not even hating. I'm just saying that definitely Jim Ryan's legacy is the guy who plays it safe, who experiments enough to be profitable and then milks it to the cow dies. I want to see Hermen Hulst as a man who has invented universe, who has made brands, who created Horizon, who has done so much. I want to see how his taste basically changes the nature of video games. Even if we don't start getting more releases or a faster release schedule, when it comes to PlayStation's first-party stuff, I want to see some more weirdness. I want to see totally crazy off-the-wall ideas like we used to see much more often. I don't know. This thing to me, this entire bit sounds incredibly cool. I'm excited to see the future of PlayStation Studios because, yeah, this article is right. They have grown exponentially over the last decade, and so having so many different brands and developers, so many studios in Japan and Amsterdam and America, I want to see them find a way to really make it so the PlayStation is the place to game. But these have just been some off-the-cuff thoughts. How do you guys feel about this? It seems like a lot of people are pretty excited. People saying, hey, it can't get any worse. Let's hope for the best. Hermen was my pick. Glad they picked it. Okay, yeah. Literally, initial instant responses are like, hey, this sounds good. Time for Sony to pick it back up again. But tell me you guys' thoughts in the comments down below. And if you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a like, share with your friends, and subscribe if you haven't already. And please keep dreaming. I'm trying to cut back on caffeine. I drank like 10 Red Bulls last week, and I genuinely wish I was joking. So I realized, hey, maybe I should drink healthy amounts of caffeine. So I have a caffeine headache right now. So I appreciate you watching this video. I'm gonna lay down after I edit this. Thanks so much for watching that video. If you want to see something else, you can always click this link to see what I put up last, or, subscribe and see what's coming up next. Also, I promise that whatever I do, it'll try not to suck.